we got something to review. So this week
is going to be the meat of our podcast, David.
Too easy. Too easy.
David,
I got it.
We're reviewing Sausage Party.
It should be called Sausage Fest. We already talked about this.
Yes.
So me and Alyssa, again, advanced screening. This is how cool kids we are. We went and saw it.
Sarah and I saw it this morning.
Yeah. So this is the Seth Rogen created. Yeah, no pun intended there. Seth Rogen. I always want to call it adult film, but that makes it sound like it's a porno. But it's an adult R-rated
R
animated movie with a hard R. Would you agree with that?
Very hard R. We'll talk when we get in the spoilers. We'll talk about the
so we're not going to
R.
spoil it here at the beginning. Then we'll get into a little bit of spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, we'll warn you. So this movie is about Frank the hot dog and Brenda the bun.
Sausage. Actually.
He's a hot dog. He's not.
They
sausage.
never refer to themselves as.
He's in a
hot
package.
dogs.
You've never seen sausage.
No, I know, but in the whole movie, it's always like, oh yeah, he's a sausage. It never is a word hot dog.
Well, because a hot dog's a bad name for a movie.
I'm just saying.
The hotter dog.
But anyway, yeah, Frank.
Frank is it's played by voiced by Seth Rogen, and you have Brenda the Bun, who is voiced by the awesome Kristen Wiig.
Oh, she's so great.
She's so good in this, and so. Throughout the movie, essentially at the very beginning of the movie, you get told that all food want to do is go home with
to the great beyond.
To the great beyond, which is going home with the customers, us,
gods.
The gods. We are gods that take them home and we take care of them. But little do they know, and they soon to find out that
it's not all what they seem, David.
Right,
the
of
great
course.
beyond, as we all will know as humans who consume food.
And then they show in painstakingly horror-like film how us eating and preparing them is basically murdering them and just completely destroying them. And it's up to this cast of characters to warn everybody. And also you get this cool walkthrough of the produce section, the different areas of the grocery store, and you get these really great, funny jokes about if food could talk.
Yeah.
Right? And that's really where it runs right off the rails.
Yeah,
and
hilarity definitely ensues.
Yes,
David.
definitely. Every food joke you can think of that has to do R-rated, they nail it. Like no pun intended.
Okay, so someone say my name.
Yeah. So
you know it's a stretch, and you know it.
Okay, so let's review it. So if you remember, thumbs out. I already gave my review, so people are going to know. But thumbs up, great movie. Thumbs to the side,
meh movie.
And then thumbs down is a bad movie. 1, 2, 3. I figured.
Like, come on, man.
2 thumbs up from us.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we love dick and fart jokes.
Yes. Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, still don't tell me what you liked, what you didn't, if there's anything you didn't like, as far as the movie. Because again, I
got some notes here, David.
Okay, what do you got? Don't ruin it. Don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna spoil anything
yet.
Other than the fact I will say WTF ending, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay. I like the ending.
No, yeah, it was just
the ending's great.
Freaking weird. So this movie's great.
Yes.
As you said, it's animated. Do not take your kids to this movie. Please, dear God. This is not a kids movie. There's nothing about this. This is for kids.
I was thinking about this because, obviously the trailer, it's an interesting choice of what's cut in the trailer because they never give any of the like explicit adult stuff in it. And they even play like the beginning's like the...
Yeah.
Like it's...
Derulo.
So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to... I wonder how parents have to explain it to their kids. Like, you cannot see this movie.
One, they shouldn't be seeing the trailers in the first place. Well, if trailers aren't going to play during normal movies.
No, I'm saying during like TV spots and stuff like that. Because kids, kids, and then they go over to their friend Billy's house who their parents doesn't watch them and they let them watch anything they want.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's just got to be an interesting conversation about like, I wonder if this like spurs some of the like, listen, can't go see this movie because of X, Y, and Z. So let's have a conversation about X, Y, and Z. Anyways, what did you like?
The message of this movie, David, a lot of actually very good messages in this movie, but our deal with religion, obviously, which is always great topic.
To make fun of,
race, politics,
yes,
all that kind of good stuff covers all that really good messages with this ridiculous premise,
right?
And I remember hearing about this movie when I think Seth Rogen in an interview for another movie, he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna make this movie."
It sounds stupid.
Food. It's about him and his friends. Must just get wicked high.
Yeah,
and room like, dude, we're gonna do this movie about food. It's like Toy Story but meets food, and it's gonna be rated R. Like, let's just do it.
Right? No, you remember back in the day, Mad TV did this little. There was a small skit that they did called "Sex Toy Story." Do you remember this?
No.
So it was Toy Story, but with sex toys, and all the sex toys could talk, right?
Right.
And so there has to be some. If you know what I'm talking about, this is what this movie is, just with food.
Right.
Like all of the inappropriate things you do with food, like what, I don't have to sit here and explain it. Like, they go there.
Yeah.
But
and they go there, David.
That's what I said when I was talking about the review with the list. So, like, I am surprised what the studio, Sony, because it's Sony Pictures, and granted, it's not like they're not. This is not
maybe
their
it's because it was
gold standard.
The whole interview. Because that was Sony as well, and Seth Rogen. It was like, all right, we'll let you do whatever you want.
No, there's some parts
we kind of fubbed up that. Release.
No, but there's definitely parts of this movie that I'm like, I cannot believe they did that. Like,
well, funny you say that, David.
Yeah.
When there's a scene in this movie towards the end of the movie that we'll talk about, and it was funny. I was reading this article with this interview with Seth Rogen, and in that scene, David, if you know what I'm talking about, Wink.
Mm-hmm.
David, Wink.
Don't spoil it, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There were 6 things. Like, on the list, when they were presenting this movie to the MPAA, they're like, these are the 6 things that we know are probably going to get removed. The MPAA is going to ask us to remove.
Right.
In this scene, there's some ridiculous things in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have us remove, but we'll see how much we can get away with, right?
Right.
The MPAA asked them to edit one thing. And even they were like, wait, really?
That's it? You sure?
Really? Oh, okay, cool.
There's moments...
And I'll say what that thing
Right.
is when we get to it. But yeah, this movie, the only thing I didn't like about this movie, David, is like the pacing was kind of weird toward the end. Like, it was super funny, like could not stop laughing through like 3/4 of the movie. And then toward the end when it started getting more serious with the story and stuff,
Yeah.
it leaned more on that over the jokes, but then it,
The
and
last
then it got
10
really
minutes,
ridiculous.
Yeah. Right. Well, they have to wrap up the story. And so, yeah, they didn't do a good job of wrapping up the story while also being funny. It became a Toy Story movie. Like,
Right.
we have an objective that we have to work together to complete. Let's do that.
It can't just be dick and fart jokes. But
there are small, like, little guffaw jokes like, oh, that's cute. Like,
yeah.
And they do a lot of, like I said, there is a lot of very observational food humor that is great.
A lot of puns, which I'm all about pun humor.
Like, here's a simple one that was in the trailer. Like, he's riding a horseradish bottle like a horse. Like, that's funny.
Yeah,
like it's
that.
stupid, but it's funny. Like, it's like, oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, really. I think I wrote down this may be the best comedy of the year that I've seen. I need to go back and see which ones I've seen though. I heard Popstar Never Stopping was supposed to be really good. I haven't seen it yet. But this may be the best comedy of the year, I think. From what
there
I've seen
hasn't
so
been
far.
a lot of. I'm trying to think of a comedy that jumps to my mind that I've seen this year. I don't.
Yeah, Sarah and I were trying to think the same thing.
No, it might be. It might just be because of a lack of, lack of choices. But
what did you think, David?
I liked it a lot. I think it is.
It's one of the most ridiculous movies I've ever seen. If we didn't see Swiss Army Man this year, this may be the most ridiculous movie.
We should give an award at the end of the year, most ridiculous movie.
Oh,
I think for me, what I enjoyed the most is how it's a parody, obviously, of Toy Story, but it looks like all those movies instead of not being allowed to look like those other movies. Like,
right.
I'm happy that this kind of movie can exist, if that makes sense.
And right off the bat with the song and stuff, you're like, oh, here we go.
Fantastic.
Like,
Like, just fantastic. Like,
I hope there's nothing bad waiting for us. And stuff like that.
It's just so on the nose.
ridiculous.
It's so great. And, like I said, I thought all the voice acting was great. There's obviously parts that I think I cannot believe this is in the movie. Like, it's one of those things where you're laughing in the theater and you're like kind of looking around to make sure you're not the only one laughing.
Exactly.
Cause you're like, I don't want to get my, ass kicked or like looked at weird. Like, hey man, we don't laugh at that, right? But everyone's really laughing and it's done in a good way. Like, the pacing of the comedy is done in a way that it encourages you to everyone's okay with this. Cause like I said, there's some religious and race jokes in this that are like,
whoa,
crazy. Like, for real, like, you're like, okay, like, I'm okay to laugh at this, but because the movie is so lighthearted and it's playing itself into this, food idea, I loved it. I love, even the story is interesting. We'll get to the spoilers. There are 2 parts in this movie, and I'm not going to say them, that I seriously, to this day, I cannot believe they let them do that.
Well, let's just talk about it.
Okay, so now we're going to get into some spoiler territory. If you don't want to know the end of this movie or parts of this movie, skip ahead.
Fast forward.
Okay. Let me talk about the part that I was like, wow, they left that in, is the bath salts. Like, not just, like, the dude injects bath salts. Like, what?
Yeah.
I
did think, like, how he was like, wow, this is really cool. I was like, ooh.
No, but I'm saying, like, it's an animated movie where someone is freebasing. Like, what? Like, they let you do that in animation, like, on a big budget with big actors in it. Like, I'm so, like, that was surprising to me. Now, it is funny, and it's not like they don't show the needle, like, going into the skin. They specifically, turn away from that. But short of that, like, what? Like, what?
Yeah.
I could not believe that. Also, of course, I know what you're talking about, right? What scene?
So it was the orgy scene at
right,
the end.
Right.
And the one thing they asked to remove was, I guess there was hair on the scrotum of the Middle Eastern guy.
Lavish.
There was hair, and they asked him to remove the hair. That was it.
Well, and that's the thing. I think that they're allowed to get away with a lot because it is food, right? It's
animation. Right.
Well, it's the what do they call that when you make not automatopoeia, where you like. I know with animals they call it like I don't know what it's called, but you make like animals like humans.
Yeah.
Well, here you just made food into humans, but they don't do it so on the nose, so I think they were probably able to get away with more with the MPA. What did you think about?
My god, all the douche jokes with that guy.
Oh, Nick Kroll. That was great.
Yeah, but like all the things, like I said, like okay, so when he rolls out of there, did you say my name?
Yeah. Great. I love all
Shut
of
the hell up. That was a stretch.
Ketchup.
You know it.
Shut up, ketchup. Yeah, it's great. It's interesting how many people they got in this movie for smaller roles. Like, there's a lot of
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, they have Harlan Williams. Like, they say like 2 lines. Like, but it's cool because they're all friends. I was saying this in the other review. It's obvious that these guys have thought about this for a while on a couch. Smoking weed or whatever, bath salts, whatever. But there's a couple moments where I was just like, I'm so glad that this exists. Like the sausage scene where he's looking for the other sausage and it's a piece of poop, like fantastic.
Yeah,
and
the zombie corn,
the condom, like it's all great. Like I can't, and like I said, normally because I went with my wife and traditionally she's not a huge dick and fart joke person, but because of the pacing of that movie, it led you up to be like, this is so ridiculous, you can laugh at this now.
It's almost like if you didn't laugh at this joke, you're like, ugh, there's gonna be another joke 5 seconds later where you're gonna bust out laughing. Like the sauerkraut, like the whole
Great.
like Nazi
kill
stuff.
the juice. And he's like, I like the juice. Like it's there's definitely some interesting parts of it. I love the ending. Did you like the ending with the whole Seth Rogen and Edward Norton? I love the meta joke at the end. That's great. I like that they incorporate different types of comedy in this. There's observational comedy. There's dick and fart jokes. There's meta jokes inside of it. I really, really liked it. I even liked the story for a large in part of, the idea.
The part where like the Michael Cera, the little hot dog comes out and the guy's chopped off head. It's just there. He's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. There's some like,
oh yeah, about that. It's hilarious.
Yeah. That was, I didn't know this. That was James Franco.
Yeah.
Like the voice of the stoner guy.
Yeah.
I think he's actually called on IMDb like Druggy or something like
Really?
that. That's his actual title. Like he doesn't have a name. Yeah, I loved all of it. I think it's like I said, I think it's great that these movies exist and there's a genre and people are seeing this movie and it's been getting good reviews and it's going to make a good amount of money. Like that's good. Like things like Deadpool and things like this movie show that, hey, you can have a successful box office big movie and it can be a rated R movie. And Deadpool is rated R, but it's not like this. This is almost NC-17.
No, yeah, definitely.
Like close. It's got to be. As far as I know, it's probably going to be one of the closest movies to an NC-17 rating without getting it.
Yep. And by the way, it's 83% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Yeah, and it's probably the highest rated this week so far for opening weekend.
Yep.
All right.
Definitely check it out. I just like the fact that it's just original. It's different, Like I said, in a world that I know I like my Marvel movies and my adaptations and my sequels and all that stuff, but I say a good original movie. We said this when we reviewed Swiss Army Man. It's just nice and refreshing to see different movies.
Yeah,
and
interesting.
This definitely checks that box.
Definitely different. Okay. Since we're doing episode 52, I wanted to look back on the podcast, do some retrospective thoughts on a year of doing this podcast.